Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Jess, and if you have never seen my face before, be sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button below because it helps me out so much. But today is a very exciting video. Today I'm going to be talking about how I got a job as a social media coordinator in social media management at a really cool company with benefits and a salary. What even is that? All without having a degree in any type of marketing. I have a degree in musical theater, if that tells you anything. Yeah, this whole video is going to be my journey to getting a job during the pandemic as well. I kind of had like a little bit of a career switch, but we'll go into that in a second. But be sure to stay tuned until the end of this video for my biggest tip. Promise it's worth the wait, so be sure to stay tuned. Yeah, that's enough talking, let's just hop right into it. So if you guys didn't know, I recently accepted my first full-time big girl job as a social media coordinator with a company here in Orlando. It's actually called High Key. I don't mind talking about it now. I was waiting to talk about it until like I was there for a little bit, but I'm okay with sharing what the company is if you guys want to follow them on Instagram. So I work as a social media coordinator for the company High Key. It is wonderful. I am so blessed to have gotten this opportunity, and there as a social media coordinator, you know, I do a lot of different things, and a lot of things I don't think I realized I would be doing, which is not a bad thing. It's just like my mind was open to how many things that social media coordinators and marketers and managers all have to do just to kind of keep things flowing. At my company, there's a bunch of different teams that work in different parts of digital marketing. So while some social media coordinators and marketers work in, you know, more of those fields, mine is specifically social media and influencer marketing, which is really exciting because I do have a bit of a background in that aspect. So while I went to school at UCF for musical theater, obviously COVID happened. So I had to kind of go in and look for job opportunities for different things, and I really just had no idea what to do because, again, my degrees in musical theater and arts as a whole are super shut down right now, and it's not good. So I was looking into some of my other, like, I guess, you know, skills, and my friend brought up the fact that, you know, I've had this YouTube channel for over 5 years now, and I've been taking it seriously for about 5 years. You know, I've grown my Instagram, and I would say I'm pretty savvy in just the social media world, making connections, and I also have a background in influencer marketing from, you know, an influencer perspective. I don't really love that word, but that is basically what it is. So I decided to start looking into, you know, doing social media marketing and trying to do it like as a job, and I got a job doing it. So here we go. So going back a little bit, I got a degree in musical theater. I ended up graduating. I got my dream job at Disney World as a singer, which is just amazing. And a lot of you guys were asking me about that, if I'm going to be heading back to work at the theme parks after, you know, all of COVID stuff, because Disney's open, but there's a lot of things that are still happening with performers, so we're just kind of waiting on the call. So a lot of you guys were asking if I was going to be going back. The answer is yes. However, I'll be going back seasonally, but if you guys want more up-to-date information about that, go ahead and check out my Instagram. Right over here I post a lot of stuff about my life, my life and Disney and stuff, so go ahead and follow me over there, stay more updated on that. But short answer, yes, I will still be staying there, but I will also still be staying with this new job. So when COVID hit, like I said before, I kind of had a quarter life crisis again. I've had many, and I wasn't really sure what to do. So I started looking into social media marketing, and my friend, bless her heart, oh my God, she sent me all of these courses to take to go in and just better my knowledge of what I don't want to say already knew, because that sounds, I don't know, not great, but stuff that I did know, but stuff that I didn't know from, you know, the perspective of a brand or the perspective of somebody who was doing it not just to brand themselves, if that makes any sense. So I want to list some of the courses that I took. All of these courses were free. Let me just put that out there now. So if you're wanting to hop into social media marketing or doing something like this is totally attainable, which is why I'm making this video. So the first course that I took was on LinkedIn Learning. It was called Becoming a Social Media Marketer through LinkedIn Learning. LinkedIn Learning, this is not sponsored, but LinkedIn Learning has a free 30-day trial to take the courses and to have LinkedIn Premium. If you guys know what LinkedIn is, it's basically a social media platform for businessy stuff, which I learned a few months ago. I never had a LinkedIn, so everything is very new to me. But basically you get the first 30 days on LinkedIn free, and because I was super motivated, I am a hardcore Ravenclaw. I love learning, so I hopped into that course. It was a 14-hour course, tons of different videos about tons of different like aspects of social media marketing, and I finished that 14-hour course within 3 days. So I did that one, which I found super helpful. If you're looking to get into social media marketing, absolutely take that course if you don't really have a background of it, because it is it just explains so many different things about it. Another one I took was through HubSpot, and I took 2 different courses on there. I took the inbound marketing course as well as the content creation course. I think that's what it was called. Content marketing course, that's what it was called. And both of these basically focused on the term inbound marketing, just in different aspects, which I found really, really interesting. Again, I have no experience in the marketing world aside from marketing myself on social media. So these courses were super, super helpful to kind of, expand my vocabulary in a lot of things. I had to have some interviews, which we'll talk about in a second, but I don't know what marketing is. So these courses were super, super helpful in allowing me to not only learn about it, but also talk to other people about it, because it approached it in a very easy to learn way. So other courses I took were also Google Analytics. I took the beginner course. I still need to take the advanced course, but right now in my job, I don't really mess with that. So I don't really need it, but I think it's super helpful. It's also free. Another course that I took was Twitter Flight School. I will say this one was probably the worst one, only because the other ones had videos and I could just play them while I folded laundry, but Twitter Flight School, I had to read all the information. But it was still super helpful, especially if you're gonna be using Twitter a lot. I do like that one, and it looks good on a resume, so that's what was on mine. So after I was taking all these courses, I wanted a place where I could put all of my, information about it. And I did have LinkedIn at this point. I had just gotten LinkedIn basically when I started to look into that and was just kind of browsing for jobs and internships for social media. So I downloaded LinkedIn, and that has kind of a resume format as your profile. So I added all of my learnings and all my past jobs, but I definitely knew that I needed a resume more tailored to marketing and social media marketing. I have a resume for like regular jobs, or like just if I was applying for anything at all, it was just literally all of my job experience, as well as I have my theater resume, which I will put here because I'm very proud of it. However, if you didn't know, theater resumes are very different from business resumes. I had no idea. So I actually went to Facebook. I created my whole resume of what I thought was good for, marketing. And I'm gonna put that one here just so we can see the difference of what happened from when all of my Facebook friends told me that I was dumb and needed to fix a lot of things. They didn't say I was dumb, they just said it in a really nice way. But basically I needed to fix a lot of things because I didn't know, and that's totally okay. That is why we are watching educational videos such as this, thank you, and why we ask our friends who know more about other things, and also Google. So basically I had this starter resume, and all of my friends on Facebook helped me out a ton, told me to take off the picture. That is something you do on theater resumes. You have a picture, you're not supposed to have those on business resumes, as well as moving some stuff around and adding more of my job experience, even though it technically did not relate to social media marketing. However, all things can relate if you want them to, which we will get into in a second. So I have my updated resume. I think it looks fun, fantastic. I sent it to my friend who had originally sent me the courses to take to improve my knowledge of social media marketing. She said it looked A+, so I decided to start sending it out. Well, actually I decided to make a TikTok about it in desperation. That didn't work, but what did work was posting my resume on Instagram. So I have a lucky number, and my lucky number is 27. And on July 27th, also the day that I got my braces off 10 years prior, that information holds no value, but I just wanted to share. On July 27th, I had one of my followers on Instagram actually reach out to me because she had seen my resume on my Instagram story and just said I had been looking into doing social media marketing as a business type deal. And she reached out to me to tell me that her job, where she was an intern, was actually hiring. So I went to the job's Instagram page. I just wanted to learn a little bit more about the company, see what exactly, what she was talking about. So I went to their page, and maybe an hour before, they had posted an Instagram story that they were hiring, which was like the first time that they had posted it. They've posted other things later on, but basically I was one of the first applications in, is what I'm trying to get at. She also was able to send my resume to her direct team. Yeah, from there, a lot of things happened. So I submitted my resume to her, as well as I submitted my resume via LinkedIn because that was where the job posting was. Again, LinkedIn is I just love LinkedIn. Everybody else knows what LinkedIn is, but I did not know what it was, and I am obsessed with it. Basically, LinkedIn has a bunch of job postings, and the job posting for that specific job was on there, and it was for a social media coordinator position, and I think they also had a social media intern position open, as well as a social media strategist. I just literally was willing to take absolutely anything, even an internship. I just really wanted experience, so I was willing to really take anything, paid or not. Hopefully it had been paid, but I applied for all of the positions. Literally the next morning, I got an email from their HR team asking me to take like an assessment thing. I tried to take that, it didn't work, so I had to email them that it didn't work. And then they ended up emailing me back the assessment link, as well as the HR person was basically like, hey, like, why don't we just go and set up your first interview now? And I'm like, okay, great. So I set it for like 2 days later because I was actually going on a trip that like Friday, or I think I was leaving Thursday. So it was the day before I was leaving to go visit my sister in North Carolina. So I had my first interview. It was a phone interview, very scary, mostly because they actually called me 30 minutes early. I guess she had gotten the time wrong, but I was prepared, and I think that says a lot about just how to get jobs in general, is being prepared for anything. So I had my interview 30 minutes early and it went really well. She passed me on to the second interview, which I actually had on that Friday while I was at my sister's. I literally like got myself a little place in her kitchen and was just like, hi. And this one was a Zoom interview with the HR person as well as with my now manager, which is funny to look back on. We had that whole interview thing. They said they'd let me know, and I was super scared the whole day. And then eventually that day I got an email saying that they would like to move forward again. So it was a really long interview process. I ended up having 3 interviews total, as well as having to do the whole project thing of creating content and captions. Eventually, I got the job. I got the job without a degree in marketing. So that is to say, you can too. And since I've gotten my job as a full-time social media coordinator for this company that I truly, truly love, they are so nice. The work environment is literally just so good. I've only been there 2 weeks, so like maybe it's like early to talk about this stuff, but I just am obsessed with them, and I think it's such a great fit, and I'm so thankful. But since I got that job, I've actually had multiple people around my life that I haven't talked to in so long reaching out in order for me to help manage their accounts as a social media marketer, as someone who is running their Instagrams or their Facebooks. And it's just really exciting because this whole new world has been opened up to me that I didn't exactly know existed. Like, obviously I knew it was a thing and I knew it was a job, but I didn't know it was something I could do, especially because I didn't go to school for it. But I think that experience will always win out over, a formal education. I was able to go in my interviews and talk about the things that I didn't learn from school, but I did learn from trial and error. I learned how to use Final Cut Pro from trial and error. I learned how to use all of these different editing sites and all of these different, sound sites like GarageBand and editing photos. And I learned that myself just from my own experience. And it was interesting because in my third interview, which was with kind of my like head boss, and I had my interview with her, and she was asking how I had learned all of these things of like, marketing and how to edit videos and stuff like that. And I just told her it was basically my own experience and it was trial and error. And she's like, that's really interesting because a lot of the people that we interview, their experience is from school. And so I think that made me stand out because I didn't have that schooling experience. So it doesn't need to be a detriment that you don't have a degree. I obviously had a degree in musical theater, but none of that was really applicable to what I'm doing now. So basically, yeah, I don't have words. So if you guys wait till the end, my biggest tip in all of this is to never sell yourself short, ever, or your skills, because when I was crafting my resume, I didn't have any marketing skills. Besides like courses I had taken online at 2 a.m., I didn't have anything. But what I did have was YouTube experience, which basically is a job, so I put that on there. What I also had was photography experience, something that I had never listed on a resume before, but something that absolutely was so helpful because I've edited and I've, taken photos in different types of lighting for different types of things. So I put that on there. And starting out, my resume was almost basically blank because I thought I didn't have any experience. But when I looked at the things that I've already done, I did have experience. So that is to say, please don't sell yourself short because you likely have skills that somebody is going to need, okay? And if you interview for a job and you get to the end and you don't eventually end up getting it, in my belief, it's because it wasn't meant for you and it's because something greater is going to be coming along shortly. So please stay with it, stay with your dreams. Please, folks. And honestly, you can really do anything that you set your mind to. I did not ever think that this would be my job, especially in 2020. I have been furloughed for like 6 months, y'all. I have a musical theater degree. I have no experience, or so I thought, in this field of marketing and social media, but I did. And I went about to learning. I put myself in the direct path of getting opportunities and applying just for literally anything. I applied for so many jobs. I literally didn't even know what a social media strategist was. And it turns out I'm definitely not equipped to do that, at least right now. But a social media coordinator, I was like, I don't know, it seems like, you know, a full-time job, no one's gonna give that to me. Maybe I'll get an internship. But I literally was talking to my manager the other day and she's like, yeah, we saw that you had applied for intern, but we're like, no, she's way more, she doesn't need to be an intern. Like, she's definitely ready for this full-time position, which is something that I wouldn't have thought of for myself. So it's just really validating. You just really need to believe in yourself, because if you believe in yourself, other people will too. So that is my spiel. I know this video is long, but I also wanted to quickly answer some questions of you guys's from Instagram. I asked a little questionnaire about things that you wanted to know about my job and stuff like that. So we're gonna go through this really quick so this video is not super long, but I hope all of this information has been super helpful for you guys. So one of the questions was, is this something you could see yourself doing long term? Yes, it is. And it's not saying that I'm going to be giving up on my dreams of musical theater. It's to say that this job and this skill is something that is so intertwined with theater right now, and something that I can do both. I can do both easily. Maybe not necessarily this job forever, but social media marketing can happen at any time. You can schedule posts, you can do all of these things, and you can also do theater at the same time. So it's definitely something I'm going to be sticking with because I really honestly enjoy it, and it's something that I've kind of realized that I'm good at. Yeah. It's something that I think I'm definitely going to be sticking with, but this is not saying that I'm going to be giving up on theater, because obviously that is my first love, obviously. Another question was, what is the best part about your new job? And the best part about my new job is hands down the people that I work with. I'm remote right now, just so we're aware. I don't think I mentioned that at the beginning. I'm remote, I work from home, but there are a few times where I go into the office to help package up influencer packages and stuff like that, which is really exciting. But everybody that I've met in literally just the 2 short weeks are so kind. They're definitely my type of people, very open, very bubbly, and I am so thankful that I'm in this environment, because I know a lot of jobs, especially a lot of like business type jobs, don't really have that, and they're more strict. And it's not saying that my job isn't strict, but it's just homey, if that makes sense. And I know that's absolutely attributed to the work culture that they have, you know, created, and I'm just really thankful. But yeah, definitely the people that I work with are the best part, at least so far. I mean, I really like a lot of the things that I do, so I'm really thankful for that. Someone asked, what all do you do within your job? So like I mentioned before, I do really a bunch of different things. I respond to DMs, I respond to influencer emails, I package up influencer packages to send out, I help source influencers from the various platforms. I'm going to be helping schedule social content for our social media channels, as well as creating some content and posting it there, writing captions. Literally there is so much that I do, and a lot of things I didn't realize I would be doing, and so the learning curve I would say is pretty high, just because it's a lot of things I've never done before, but it's okay because I'm learning. And I literally, my manager was like, do you have any questions? And I'm like, I have a lot of questions, but right now I'm sponging it in. So just keep throwing things at me, and then my mind will take it in, and then we will ask the questions later. So the learning curve is pretty high in that aspect, but it's absolutely manageable, and it's really a lot of fun because I do so many different things where I don't really get bored. And the last question I'm going to answer is, did your YouTube/Instagram platform give you experience to replace not having a degree? Yes, it did. Absolutely. We talked about that a little bit earlier, but yes, having that portfolio, basically a direct link to my experience and the things that I've done that have grown my channel organically on YouTube as well as my Instagram. You know, I kind of got a lot of my followers from Instagram, from YouTube, where I put a lot of my focus in for a long time. So having those basically 2 platforms to be like, hey, I know exactly what I'm doing, and you too, I can also help grow your channel type of deal, you know? So some people have portfolios, some people have that, but yeah, definitely the experience was super helpful in getting a job. So that is it. My battery is dying, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys are not already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button below, as well as follow me on Instagram because I post there a ton, and yeah, it's really fun over there, and I post a lot of stories. I also have a TikTok. I'll put it right here. Go check me out because my videos are, I don't know what they are. They're interesting. That's all I'll say. So thank you guys so much. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you want me to do a part 2 of this video, I can absolutely do that. Let me know. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in my next one. Bye.